Hey guys, Rocky here, and today we're going to do a tier list. I know a few of you wanted me to do a tier list, and so I'll be giving you the moderator tier list. So let's begin. First up, we have the developer, that being Ark, and or known as Red, or known as Soul's Coalition Representative, or known as Veni Vici What? Why do they have so many names? Now, before I place the developer anywhere on this tier list, I must say what these ranks mean. S is you're going above and beyond and you're doing your duty and everybody loves you in the community. A, you're a good moderator, you know, you're doing pretty good. Like, you're going above and that's it. B is like, you're a moderator, you're doing your job, you're doing what you need to do, that's good. And C is just like, you're a mod. And like, that's really it, you know. So those are the 4 ranks that we have for this tier list. Anyway, continuing on, we'll place the developer in the developer tier because they don't moderate the server. They just make the game, they develop the game, and that's really it. So yeah. And next up, we have the Royal Nation Lancer, and this guy specifically is actually one of the few administrators beside the owner themselves, that being the developer. So this guy, he's awesome, he's cool, we DM each other often. He's the first moderator I've gotten in contact with, and he's just, he answers all my questions. He's the GOAT, which is why I'm putting him in the Royal Nation Lancer tier, because I don't want to be biased, you know, and I can't really put him anywhere here because it would be biased because I talked to him, we're friends, so that's why I'm putting him in this tier. And well, let's continue on. And next up we have Mittens, also known as Mitye or whatever, and they are also one of the few administrators in the GD community server, and they haven't talked recently. The last time they talked is September 9th, so like, you know, like, they're probably like a little low, but also they also, what am I saying?
Yo.
They were also one of the people that had to deal with the only GD drama ever, like the singular GD drama that existed in the game, which is very impressive, by the way, that there's only one drama that's ever happened for like an entire year. That's impressive, and because of that, I'll probably just put them in B tier, because, you know, they're moderated, they're doing the job, and well, that's good on you. And lastly, of the few administrators there are in the GD community server is Raz, also known as Raza Rubius. And they're currently the developer of A-888, which is great, but for being an administrator in the GD community server, they only talk a few times a month, and they're probably doing a bunch of stuff in the background, you know, like hidden away, but as of the public eye, I don't really see them doing that much, which means I'll put them in C tier. Though they're probably in B, but I don't see that in the public. So yeah, continuing on. With all the administrators out of the way, we'll start with the server managers. And first, we'll start with Senna Thena, also known as Siri Senna Thena. Is it Thena or is it Thena? Anyway, continuing on, this person is so well known in the community that they talk essentially almost daily in the GD community server, which is impressive and a good way to connect with the community. But they're actually so well connected with the community that a bunch of people mix and match the usernames to follow this specific person. That is some loyalty to the GD community server, and because of that devotion, that's an easy S tier for the moderated tier list. Good work. And the next server manager we have is Thunder Striker, also known as Green Milk. And they've shown their loyalty and devotion to the GD community server, which puts them at A. Because they did make an update log, which it wasn't actually real, and it kind of messed with everyone. So that's the only reason why I'm not putting them S, because of that singular update log. But other than that, though, they are very well connected with the community, and I have nothing else to say. And that is impressive work, talking daily, similar to Senna Thena, but not having the cult mentality of Senna Thena, or Thena, however you say it. So yeah, continuing on to the next one. And next up, we have Nova, also known as Novatality, and this guy, well, he's one of the major community figures in this game because he's actually one of the contributors of the game that has actually made content. You know, all the special maps that are added in the game, he consistently checks all of them and gets them added into the game, which are super cool, super nice how he's getting more and more maps added into the main game. which is why, obviously, I'll put him in Nova's house because I'm already friended with him and I talk to him consistently in DMs that, well, it'd be pretty biased putting him in as similar to Roar Nation Rancer, so I'm putting him in his house. And, oh, wait, hold on, we're missing something. There you go, that's much better. And next up we have Cadence, also known as Cadence Qatari, and they are also a server manager. But as of what I've seen, they only talk like a few times every month, so like I don't really know why they're a server manager, but they probably did a lot of stuff back then. But as of now, as of current, as of the present, I don't see much with them in the public, so which is why I'm putting them in C tier. And next up we have Hari, also known as the nation #1 sniper, or the #1 nation sniper I should say. And well, they've contributed a lot to GD actually, that being most of the modification lore, like the gun modifications, which is really impressive, which means I'll put them at A, because well, I did have an encounter with this moderator and it wasn't so present, but that was all the way back then. That was super long ago and they've probably changed as a person. But for me personally, I'll keep them at A. With all of these server managers out of the way, we'll start with the moderators. And do note that all these people are moderators, they're just at a higher tier of moderation. Anyway, let's actually start with the moderators. The first one being Zim. And this guy hasn't talked in like 1 month. Matter of fact, he hasn't talked in like months. So I'm gonna put this guy in who? Because he just has a few messages last month and then the time period he talked is like many months ago. So I don't know why this guy's still a moderator. He probably just is in there just to have it. But like he probably did a bunch of stuff back then. But as of current, as of now, he's just like doing nothing. So yeah. And next up we have the Gray Ghost. I thought his name was the Gay Ghost, but I think he changed it. I don't know why. Anyway, continuing on, this guy, he's goated for a normal server mod, by the way. He talks daily, more consistently than these two people, by the way. These guys being server managers, and a lot of people know this guy. Like, he is well known in the community. Not as well known as Senna, obviously. But because of that, because of his dedication, I hope this guy gets promoted one day, because he has 400 plus pages of history in the GD community server, which is actually nuts. That's crazy. Just for being a server mod alone, man, you deserve this S. And well, I hope you achieve a higher career status. But overall, he seems like the GOAT to me. Continuing on. And next up, we have the Senator, also known as Suri Senator. And well, they talk every other day essentially, and well, that's good. That's very good for a moderator to be well connected with the community. Although, if I were to compare them to Senna or the Grey Ghost, like these two are like the goats of moderation. Like they're up there, you know, like they're the key. You hear moderator, you hear server manager, you think of these two people. But this guy, I don't really think of them that much, but they're probably doing the job pretty well, which is why I'll keep them at A, or put them at A, I should say. So yeah, continuing on. And next up we have Papy, also known as Siri Papy, as well. They've been consumed by the Senna Thena cult group, and they only talk like once a month, at most a couple times a month, so I don't know why they're a moderator. But because of that, because of the public eye and what the history is and what they've done as of now, you know, it's just C tier. They might be doing their job, I'm not too sure, but well, I mean, they even said themselves that they're not even a moderator anymore, so why does this person have moderation? You know? So like, maybe the who, but yeah, continuing on. And next up, we have Angel Grimra Kin, also known as Genify. And well, from what I can see, the community knows them very well. And also, they talk daily, which is already above A and beyond, which is why I'll put them in S. And although this is the first time I've ever heard about this moderator, that doesn't mean that it's the first time everyone else has heard about this moderator, which is why I'll keep them at S. And next up we have Valkyrie Krabby, also known as Siri Senna Val, another cultist of the Senna, you know, cult. Continuing on, they do talk almost daily, but not to the degree of these big three, which is why I'll put them at a high A, because well, they do talk daily, just not as much as these three from what I've seen in the history. Also, they only have 300 plus pages of history in the Discord server compared to these three, which have 400 plus and beyond, because 400 is the max you can see in the Discord server or in Discord in general. So yeah, hi yay. Continuing on. And next up we have Dr. Combot, also consumed by the cultists, so they're also known as Series Sen Alucard. And well, it's a good high A. You know, like, he's probably well connected with the community, just not to the degree of having a cult, being well known, or just being mentioned that often. So yeah, that's it. And next up we have Kraver Yen, and this guy has dropped some sick art, but like, he hasn't talked in 2 months, and he hasn't talked in a long time, so like, who? And next up we have Call Me Fall, also known as O-Tum, and they don't talk daily, but they are doing their job as a moderator, helping people and all that stuff, so it's just B for them, nothing else. And next up we have Light Crust, also known as Niz, well, better known as Niz, I should say. And they do talk daily, however, they don't talk to the degree of these three, and they're not really mentioned that well, or they don't have a lot of chat history, only coming in at 184 pages, which would put them at A. However, though, they are at S, because essentially every day, if there isn't a event happening in the community server, they're hosting events like brawls or melee farms. They're just doing so much in the GD community for events and stuff like that, which is why they stand at S. And next up we have Milk, also known as Thunder ZT 2.0, and they haven't talked since February. Who? Next up we have Striker 40M, also known as Matthew the Cowboy, and they don't talk daily, and they don't talk every other day. They don't talk that much, but they do still talk, which is why I'll put them at B, because they're doing their job, but they aren't doing it as well as the A or the goated S tier. Moving on. And next up we have Josh Mir, also known as Silly Ward Josh, and this guy talks like once a week, like every other week, so I guess he's just doing his job as a moderator, which is why I'll put him at B. And next up we have Nope 1120, also known as 90, and let me tell you, this person is a sweeper moderator. He talks daily to the degree of these three. And well, Niz is just host a bunch of events, but this person right here, I haven't heard of this person a single time, but I looked at the history and they talk so much, so often, helping out so many people that they deserve this S tier. Buddy pow. Next up, we have Mr. Max 228, also known as Siri Talon. Oh, well, they've been consumed by Senna as well. And it's just an easy S. They made the churro, and also they, well, the most latest message, like, you know, everyone has like 400 pages worth of Discord messages just because 400 is the max Discord can like handle. The most recent message, or the most latest message actually, from the 400 pages is in June. What? June? Everyone else is like in May, April, but this guy's most latest message is in June? He must have talked hella back then and talks hella to this day, as he does talk daily. So yeah, easy S, show guy. He's just helpful. So yeah, continuing on. And next up we have Hyper_Rye, also known as Hyper. The last time they talked 5 months ago. Who? And next up we have Consumer, also known as I am Yomo81, and it's an easy S tier for me as well. This guy talks daily, just as much as these three, which is already, that's nice, that's great, that's amazing. But also, he's the punching bag of the community. If you want to make a joke at this guy, and all the other mods will let it slide because it's Consumer. And we always need someone to punch when we want to have a good laugh. And he is our dude. He has accepted that role, and well, he is the GOAT. And well, I think I already said this, but he makes content for the game, and it's always nice to see another content creator in the GD community, which is why he's at S. And next up, we have Skeleton Crusader, also known as Boiled Bone. The last time this guy talked was in July. And then before that was May. Who? And next up, we have banana_guy, also known as Siri Banana Senna. So another one to the cult list. And they don't talk dairy, but they almost talk dairy. Which, well, that's pretty good, as they do talk at least often in the community server, which is, well, that's a nice A for them. And last but not least, we have Siri Selly. Well, that's another person in the cult list. They're actually known as Night Locking. You know, it's an easy S tier. They talk as much as Mr. Max, and, well, they talk as often as the big three daily, which is why I put them at S. Also, this is the person I see the most in public servers in the GD like actual game, which is so impressive to see a moderator actually play the game that they moderate in. Like, good job, bro. So yeah, easy S. And that is the entire tier list. As you can see, almost half of the mod team is A or above, that is an impressive feat that I don't think many community servers can accomplish. And all these guys are so well connected to the community. It's really nice to see actual moderators that care for their game. So, yeah, that's it. That's the end of the video. This is my first ever tier list I've ever made that you guys all wished for, and I hope I succeeded in your expectations. If you want me to make another tier list, then ask me what tier list you want, and I'll gladly make it for you. But as for now, helmets save lives, and, well, that is the tier list.
Joke's on you. I haven't taken my medication. You're not real. You're not real.
Not real.
Oh, damn. Maybe he is real.